Everyone, welcome to this episode of the Outdoor Gear Review. It's coffee time. I'm having coffee under a tarp after spending 2 days here at Lone Wolf Mountain testing out two OneTigris tents. These tents include the OneTigris Bungalow and the OneTigris Tangram. Over the course of 24 hours, over 3 inches of rain has fallen on those tents. In this episode, I answer the question, can two inexpensive tents from OneTigris handle lots and lots of rain? Let's find out together. And to do so, let's start at the beginning. It is 10:30 Sunday evening, and I just made it out here to Lone Wolf Mountain. Temperature-wise, it's about 60 degrees. It feels good. Weather-wise, right now it's clear, but rain and storms are on the way. Since nasty weather is coming in, my plan is to stay out here at Lone Wolf Mountain and to put some tents through their paces. Namely, these two tents right here. The OneTigris Tangram tent and the OneTigris Bungalow 2.0. Over the last couple of months, I've begun testing these tents out, but I've yet to use them in nasty weather. And I tell you what, nasty weather is certainly on the way. By Tuesday morning, they say that we could have maybe 3-4 inches of rain by then. So without a doubt, these tents are going to see some action. And I'm excited to see how well they perform. Will they leak, and how bad will the condensation be? We will find out together. And with that being said, let's get them set up. So this here is the bungalow tent. It is very easy to set up. And it can be set up with trekking poles, with sticks, and in fact, I will use sticks for this setup. I will use trekking poles with the other tent. I will come back to this one in just a minute. Let's move on to the Tangram. With the Tangram here, this one has a fly, which is detachable, and I have not attached it since the last time that I dried it out. I tell you what, everyone, it is muggy tonight. Very, very muggy. You could tell that moisture is on the way. Now with the Tangram, the poles go on the inside of the tent, whereas with the other one, the poles go on the outside, and that's why I'm using sticks on the other one and poles on this one. The Tangram is now set up. I'm going to focus my attention on the bungalow, and for now I need at least 2 sticks. In truth, I need 4. 1 stick for each side and 2 sticks for the front door. And I am going to head off into the woods to find those sticks now. I have my sticks ready to go, and this process will go rather quickly. 1 stick for each side. This was done nice and easily by attaching slip knots to the end here of these loops. This side I'm going to lower so it's somewhat angled. So if it starts raining, it doesn't pull on top. Something big is down there. What are you doing? It's a raccoon. What are you doing, dude? Huh? It's going up the hill. Isn't that funny, folks? Even though we're setting up this tent, we're talking to each other, that raccoon is coming up here to see what we're doing. That's pretty funny in my opinion. Both of the tents are set up for the night. I think I will start off with the bungalow and then tomorrow night move to the Tangram. When it comes to quality, I have to say that I've noticed a lesser degree with the Tangram. There's some rather poor stitching with this tent, and also one of the plastic tensioners for one of the stakeout points is broken. I didn't break it, it came that way. Whew. All right. I will tell you one thing, everyone. It is one steamy night. Whew, it's humid. Everything here is just soaking wet. As far as everything I needed to get done for the night, I've done it. My bedding is set up, and that means tomorrow when I wake up, set up a tarp, and get ready for some rain. There is a chance for flash flooding. I will probably be gone by the time it really becomes an issue. But yeah, we shall see. We shall see. It feels good to lay down. It's been a long day. It's about midnight now. Filming takes a long time, but yeah, it's been a long day. It's been an awesome day. I went out biking today with Susie and Lucas and my brother, and we biked all day long. It was a lot of fun. So I'm tired from that, and it's getting late. Good night for now. See you in the morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. So, as an update, everyone, there was no rain last night, and also very little wind, which means it was just muggy. Multiple times I woke up just like drenched in sweat. Anyways, folks, my plan is this. I'm going to grab the tarp, string it up over there. That way I have a nice dry place to hang out whenever it does start raining. And then it's coffee time. Because it's not raining now, I'm going to accept this gift for what it is and use that time wisely. I could get up, make some coffee, but I have this feeling I would regret it. By the way, everybody, remember that raccoon from last night? That thing has like roamed in the woods all night long. I heard that and saw it multiple times, just run around all over the place. That was pretty funny. For whatever reason, he wasn't all that scared. More curious and interested. Yeah, he was pretty funny. Now for this trip, I brought 2 tarps with me. Military Basha tarp, the old Bushcraft USA tarp. I figured I might be spending quite a bit of time underneath them, so yeah, more space is better than less space. Whew. It is quite a bit cooler out here than it is inside of here. This mesh is so thick that it allows for very little air to actually come through it. It is surprising the difference between in there and out here. I'm ready for the rain, everyone. Bring it on. 2 to 3 inches of rain tonight will be awesome tests for these tents. What do you all think? Pause the video, comment down below. Which tent will leak, or will they both leak? Condensation-wise, with the bungalow, it did dry up. After I was inside of there, stopped moving around and cooled down a little bit, thankfully. So in my hurried state, and also because it's early, no coffee, I tied to the wrong guy off point. Oops. Later on tonight, I will share with you all a moment from one of my adventures that I cut out, which involved just doing dumb stuff just like this. But a little bit more so. It's pretty funny. Now, of course, the problem with a big tarp like this is that it will always drape down. And it really doesn't matter how tight you pull it because the material will stretch. And because of the size, you may have to support it in some way. And because of that, I always keep a washcloth in with my cordage kit. I've found that this will save my butt more times than not. It's worth the wait, in other words. I have the extra tarp. I think I will put it up right here. And you will see why in just a little bit. Oh, man. Whew. Let me tell you, folks, that feels amazing. I could totally see getting a nap in later on today, especially because I didn't sleep very much last night. So the tarps are set up, and so is my hammock. I'm not suffering or roughing it with this trip. This is the Soto stove. I love this thing, I really do. It's a very unusual Japanese stove. It's just a fantastic little stove. With today's coffee, I'm making it cowboy style. And now we wait just a minute. We do not want to boil this water, we only want to heat it up. As soon as the water is just a little bit warm, like now, we need to put in the coffee. I've taken the coffee, I've put them in these little coin bags, and there's 2 cups of coffee per bag. I have 3 cups of water in the pot. We'll put the lid back on, crank it up, and we will let this come to a boil. Once it's boiling, we will let it boil for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, it's pretty much done. All right. We will now let this boil for 5 minutes. As far as the mess goes on the outside of the pot, it's no big deal. That will happen when you're boiling your coffee. As you continue to boil, that dries up and you could just rub it off. So 5 minutes is up. Now it's time to let this sit for just a little bit. As I let it sit, I'm going to pour some cold water into this. I'm going to pour it down the pouring chute and also just dump right in the middle. And what this cold water is going to do is take all those coffee grounds and force them to the bottom. I'll wait a couple of minutes and it'll be time for a cup of coffee. The best dang coffee in the entire world. This is personally how I like my coffee. I like to make it cowboy style. I like to boil the crap out of it. And the reason for that is pretty simple. When you boil it for a long period of time, you take the acid out of it. So if you have issues with like heartburn, indigestion, if you have an ulcer, something like that, you could drink coffee this way. This is how my grandpa used to make his coffee. I don't do it very often for the simple fact that it just takes so much time, but it really does make an awesome cup of coffee. It is so much better than, say, like your average coffee maker percolator. With those type of systems, the water's just going through the grounds. With this one, it's boiling in it. I mean, all of those flavors are being released. It's the way to go if you have the time. No grounds in that at all. So my friends, cheers. Cowboy coffee time. Oh man. Let me tell you, that is really good. It really is. You can taste everything about that coffee. It is so smooth. It's not bitter at all. So, talking about my mishap that I didn't show in a video, right? We might as well tell that story now since we were just talking about the hammock. Okay, the kayaking trip where I went to Snake Mountain, I used a hammock for that adventure, right? When I got to Snake Mountain, I had paddled all day. I sat down, I drank a couple beers, and that day I really hadn't eaten that much. So like that alcohol just went straight to my head. So I had those beers, I set up that hammock, and I go to sit down in that hammock and I just fall flat to the ground. I sunk all the way to the ground right onto my butt. I thought that was pretty funny. I did a bad job of stringing that thing up, obviously. So I did it again. I tied it up, I set in it, fall right down on my butt. That was funny. Side effects of drinking alcohol on an empty stomach. That is the second tick of the day crawled up on my food bag. That's why you have to really be careful. Make sure to zip things up. I should take my own advice. So, it looks like rain is getting closer and closer. So I am going to basically zip this up. The benefits to using a slip knot for this is that you can simply pull the stick out very, very easily. I have enough firewood to last me for many hours, so good enough. I have a good assortment of small stuff and also large stuff, so I should be pretty much good to go there. I was looking at the hammock and I almost forgot I need to tie up my drip lines. Drip lines are very important when it comes to your hammock. so that you don't have water running the line going right to your hammock and getting everything wet. So might as well fix that now. This is the line that we have to worry about. Luckily, we have quite a bit of excess here, so I can just tie a knot basically. Get it right below the tarp. And just like that, the rain will go down the line, hit this knot, and go down. It's that simple. We could do the same thing here as well. Just a little knot underneath the tarp. Just like that. And that is a drip line. All in all, everyone, I'm in good shape. I have firewood. I have a place for a fire. I have both tents set up. I have both tarps set up. I have the hammock set up. And now, I think I'm going to hike up to the top of the mountain here and take a look at the clouds coming in, just to get an idea of what it looks like out there. Oh man, that is so good. Here in a minute, everyone, I will show you all the radar. Rain and storms are getting closer. It will not be much longer now. And I'm ready for it. Let it rain. Let's make this trip interesting, shall we? So let's talk weather here for a second. We are this little blue dot right over here. You can see all of that moisture starting to come up towards us. It will probably start raining within the next hour. Then we have all this action behind it, which is building now. That is going to hit later tonight. And the current weather report states, showers and thunderstorms likely after 2 p.m. Tonight, 2 to 3 inches of rain. Tomorrow, 2 to 3 inches of rain. Tomorrow night, an inch of rain. And it looks like it's going to continue raining until Friday night. Now, my plan is to leave tomorrow at some point in time, as long as we get a substantial amount of rain. This whole trip is about those 2 tents right there. I've had so many people asking about both of those. People want the reviews, I get it, but I can't give a review until I know how well these tents perform when it comes to the rain. Wish them luck. They will need it. Okay, everyone. It has stopped raining for a minute. Let's go check on these 2 tents real quick. The rain that fell wasn't all that heavy. Yet, I do want to take a look. So this is where we stand, everyone. Both tents are 100% dry. That was a rain event which lasted about an hour, and for the most part it was pretty light. Now in roughly 2 hours it is going to rain and possibly storm. A massive wave is coming our way and it looks nasty. So for test number 1, these tents have passed. Let's see how they handle the second rain event. Do you guys happen to see that? It's another tick. I tell you, I've seen so many ticks today, it's not even funny. Before I head out for any adventure, I make sure to treat my clothing with permethrin. It's important. Treat your shirts, your pants, and also your socks. Take those articles of clothing, treat them, let them dry, and you're good to go. Also, everyone, make sure to treat your shoes. That's very important as well. That is looking good, everybody. So what do we have here? Applewood smoked bacon mashed potatoes. And the barbecue is a vinegar based. Smells awesome. The potatoes, the barbecue. And I have one very warm Yingling. Cheers, my friends, cheers. Let's call it done. Oh yeah. Go right on top of those potatoes. And that is what I call a meal. I've been looking forward to this all day. I've been looking forward to this one beer all day. I've had this thing in the fridge for so long. What was the last trip that I went on where I had beer? Maybe the hot tent adventure. I think that's right. That beer is from that trip. That is so good, everyone. Earlier today, I was talking about my misadventure with my hammock being a little bit buzzed from a couple beers and just doing a terrible job of setting up that hammock. Landing on my butt multiple times. But I tell you what, everyone, when you're in the outdoors, well, no, forget the outdoors. In your daily life, everybody makes mistakes. And it doesn't matter if you're in the corporate world or if you're out in the woods. It really doesn't matter. I mean, it's in our nature not to do things perfectly. So when you spend as much time in the outdoors as I have, I've done all sorts of like dumb stuff. Looking back on it, dumb. Luckily, we are able to learn from our mistakes. You know what I mean? And you can look back on it and have a good laugh. But there's something that you could do around a campfire that has claimed the lives of more gloves, shoes, and articles of clothing than anything else. Everybody, including myself, has tried to dry an article of clothing next to a fire. And I can't begin to tell you how many times that doesn't work out. There's so many things that you have to do. You have to set up this, you have to go inflate that. You have the fire going, you're going to put your gloves next to a fire, like I've done before, and you come back and they are like curled up and melted. That's what happens when you have fake leather gloves next to a fire that are soaking wet. They dry out, and then they shrink and melt. Yeah, I've done that. Some years back, a friend and I, we went on this long snow hike, and both of our shoes were soaking wet. So he decided that he was going to dry his boots next to the fire. I remember like coming around the corner and seeing this, like, here's the fire, here's his boots, and a flame coming off of them. Like the rubber was on fire on those shoes. That was funny because it melted like a good portion of the rubber off. So when he took a step, like his step was incorrect. So it really lunged down. So like the entire next day he was walking funny. That was so incredibly funny. It was awful and funny at the same time because like he was so sore, so messed up by the time we got back to the car. Oh man, that was great. So funny. Now, as far as more mishaps go, let's see. There is a reason why I will only inflate a sleeping pad on the inside of a tent. I've popped so many and put holes, punctures, rips, tears in sleeping pads. I won't take the chance any longer. I set it up inside of my tent, that's it. Nothing sucks more than having a sleeping pad that goes flat all night long, and you have to continuously blow it up. Okay. That just about caught my crotch on fire. This is what I call living, everyone. Life is good. We have rain coming down, it's cooling down, the fire is hot, it's reflecting off of this tarp. Feels good. When you have a tarp setup, you will oftentimes find that it is impossible to get a perfect setup every single time. For one thing, the materials are imperfect. They stretch. The lines that you use, they stretch. So what is pitched perfectly tight eventually will be a little bit of a nasty setup, as I would say, as I would call. All you have to do is put just a little bit of weight on there, and that's enough to pull the water into a location where it can exit the tarp. With these sticks here, they act as a drip line. So the water comes down, goes down through the guy loop, runs the sticks, hits the ground, and doesn't make a huge mess. If this wasn't here, it would pull up here and then be a big wash that dumps over. And it would mess up the ground, erode it, and just make things muddy and nasty. This prevents that from happening. Oh my, here's that raccoon. That raccoon is back. Can you see him? Where'd he go? I cranked up the ISO. He's down there somewhere. That's funny. He's fearless for some reason. Hopefully not because he has rabies. When it comes to your adventures in the outdoors, it really is about improvising. Coming up with solutions, most of the time for the smallest of issues, the smallest of problems. Such as these sticks here. It's a small fix, it's a small issue that would ultimately make a huge mess if I didn't take care of it. That's one of the greatest things about being in the outdoors, is that it really does begin to like rewire your brain. You begin seeing things differently. You're able to come up with ideas and solutions, because oftentimes you'll have to think outside of the box to solve something. There's not a set way to go about fixing a problem or solving a problem or getting something done. Get comfortable in the outdoors and you'll be a MacGyver in no time. You'll be MacGyvering all sorts of things in your life. Here we go. It's raining. Woo! And it is coming down. Look at all the water coming off of this tarp. That's great. That is working perfectly. I've been kicking back just listening to the rain. It's been nice. It's been steadily coming down for about an hour now. I have the fire going. It's just me, it's just you, that raccoon running around here. As an update, it is almost 10 p.m. and it has been raining pretty good. It's been a moderate rain, but it's been steady for about an hour and a half. I've really enjoyed sitting around this fire. It's been nice. But since it is starting to slack up a little bit, I am going to wait for that perfect moment. I'm gonna run, hop inside of the tent. Otherwise, I'm afraid that I'll be stuck under this all night long. Inside of the tent now. I made a run for it, a beeline straight here. As you all can hear, it's still raining. Inside of the tent, it is 100% dry. I'm impressed. It's been raining off and on all day. It's been raining pretty much steadily all night. And it's not leaking. I'm impressed. Issues. Well, loose threads for sure. And they are loose threads everywhere. Not sure why. The truth is that I've been impressed with just about everything from OneTigris. Their prices could be high on some things, low on others, but the quality, it's there. So it seems so far. I'll bring you all back later when it's really coming down. Hopefully, some storms will come through. We shall see. All right, everyone. Good night for now. Everybody, it's update time. It's almost 2 a.m. and it's raining pretty good. So far, everything's fine. Everything's dry. According to the radar and the notifications that I got on my phone, it is about go time. Heavy rain, it's about to begin. Let's see what this tent can do. It's been raining steady all night long, but nothing super hard. That's about to change. All right, everyone, good morning. It is almost 5 o'clock. It's like 4:45 a.m. And as you can hear, it is raining very good, actually. It's coming down. I'm sure you're wondering, is this tent leaking? Is that why you are awake? Yes, it is. I have a leak here in the corner that is becoming more and more of an issue here, where this body attaches to this sidewall. That attach point is leaking, and I'm having to wipe it up ever so often to prevent it from making a huge mess. Good morning, everybody. It's about 9 o'clock, still raining, and for the most part, I'm still dry. All in all, I am impressed with this tent. One issue here in the corner, and that's it. That really is a weak point for tents. Anytime that you have something jutting out from a side at an angle, you tend to have some sort of leak. But a leak is a leak. That's how it works. I wonder how the bungalow did. At the moment, it's not raining too hard, so maybe we should get up and go find out. Get some coffee going. Okay, everyone. The moment of truth. Let's see how well the bungalow performed. It looks like it did not leak at all. The tent is 100% bone dry. I'm impressed. That was a lot of rain last night. In fact, the area is under a flood warning right now. With both of those tents, I am rather surprised, to be honest. They handled all of that rain better than I expected. In the future, my reviews of these tents will be coming up, so stay tuned for that. And now, it's coffee time. I love mornings like this. Cool, wet, miserable to some, fun to me. I love it. Going out in conditions like this will make you a better outdoorsman, outdoorswoman, whatever, backpacker, and so on. It makes you think, and it makes you use skills that you didn't know that you had. And also, it's fun. It really is. I tell you, this has to be some of the best coffee I've ever had, ever. A viewer sent this in, and wow, is it good. I'm sure there's quite a bit of sugar in it, but there's no denying it. It is awesome. Cheers, my friends. Cheers. That is so good. With both of these tents, which one do you like the best? If you had to pick one. They are very much different. I would say that both are one-person tents. You may be able to cram 2 people in there. Keyword, cram. Which one would I pick? You will have to find out in my reviews. Coming up soon. Thanks to the forecasted conditions, I wanted to get out and test out these products. I still have more testing to do, but both have impressed me. Even the Tangram, with its little bit of leaking and heavy, heavy rain. It wasn't too bad though. If you like this adventure, please hit the thumbs up. It does help the channel. Also, subscribe if you haven't already. Support the channel through Patreon if you want to, because this channel is 100% agenda-free. You will not find anything dealing with sales here. I pass on my thoughts, my reviews, that's it. I don't care about your money. I don't want affiliate dollars. I don't take a commission for anything that you decide to buy. It means nothing to me. No Amazon links, no tracking links. Strength and honor, I'll see you.